What's up, everybody? Welcome to Full Credit to the Boys. Obviously coming off a really nice victory against the Cowboys. If you did miss out me and Levon's watch along there to the Warriors versus Cowboys game, guys, feel free to rewatch that stream after this one. We'll give you all our post-match thoughts and that, but if you do want to rewatch and see what our thoughts were like live and unfiltered, go check it out. It will be on YouTube and that, but amazing win for the boys there, guys. 42-12. I think that gets us to 10th position. I'm just about to check up the ladder there to really check, because me and Levon were trying to do quick math and all that sort of stuff. I think that should get us to 10th position, but yeah, what's your thoughts overall, Levon? Amazing game there for the boys. Attack really clicked really well for majority of that game. Was very clean for majority there too. Against, a Cowboys team that has strike. Obviously was a little bit depleted, but has a lot of strike still. What's your thoughts overall?
Yeah, just one of those games where, just credit to everyone. The best performance of the season for me. Well balanced, the attacking shape early on. You could see that just the focus to the detail. Webby talked about that. They earlier in the season it felt as though they'd forgotten how to play almost the style, and now we're seeing just it looks so much sharper. And then defensively for me was the big one. Everyone looking really, really good. Got the ball brothers here right now on the post-match. Great, just a well-balanced. The interchange was really well. Jackson Ford in that role.
We're going to be talking about him, bro.
Big talking point there. But overall, just the clinicalness by the halves. Everyone involved. Berra getting a double. Both sides working really well. I'm just really super proud of it. It was definitely, definitely the best performance. And Manu, yes, bro, we did a live stream. So, bro, we will be doing more live streams, man. Hang around. We'll let you know. But, yes, absolutely.
Your thoughts, Jazzy, hit the likes too, my bro, 100%. Make sure if you enjoyed all the stuff that we're bringing to Wise Up TV, like and subscribe. Yeah, man, I thought, overall, just a really clean, clinical performance, especially the weird, time that in the middle there with a couple of simbins that we definitely don't agree with there for both the boys going off. You still held sturdy with, 12 men on the field comparatively to their 12 men as well. Just a little bit more space on the field and that. But a couple of stats to go through too, 56% possession. So we controlled the game so well. 84% completion rate. So a clean, clinical performance, 37 sets out of 44. And pretty much just dominated from top to bottom against the Cowboys team. Again, that were missing Reese Robson and stuff like that, off origin duty and that. But we need to do something like this and a big clinical performance, 42-12, a decent scoreline. We needed to do that, and we did that really, really well. And we still have some boys to come back into the squad as well, but it was interesting to see some of the rotations, the way Webby has changed a couple of positions here, as you did touch on. We will talk on Jacko Ford a little bit later on in that, but just a really great game to watch, man, and just a great game to watch in our stream. I thought we had a lot of fun there too, chatting back and forth, and it was a real positive stream, so it was really, really good to see. So, yeah. Yeah.
No, it was really great, man. Look, we're in that time of season again. It's kind of almost mirrored last year, and maybe there's just some truth to that, that kind of around the origin period is when we start to pick up. But the performance for me was just class. The little details the first try to CNK the effort, and Tamaiti was orchestrating really well. I thought the kicking balance between him and CNK was just CHT, was just really good. Egan low-key game, but was one of the best performances this year for him. It was just really, really good. And to see guys like Tohu and Kate Well come back and get some, some minutes under them, get their legs back. I thought Webby did a really good job balancing that thing. And again, we just showed that, we got ahead. We were clinical. We got the lead. I felt going into the game that as long as we stayed strong, we would work them over. And we got that 22-6 lead. And then we carried on, and that's what you got to do in the NRL when you got to punish teams. And I thought we're absolutely awesome. Yeah.
And to add on top of that, 3 wins now on the trot, like the buy-in between there, 2 top 4 team victories, the Panthers and the Dolphins with a low-level team. I think a lot of us were sort of had that little thought in the back of our mind, like a bit worried that when all these big boys come back, maybe the cohesion won't be there, little things like that. Maybe hopefully we don't drop a game like this. So we're back on what do we do with our team? We had a lot of young stars step up. We got a lot of older boys come back, but they proved themselves here. And this is why they're top talent that we have in our squad. 42-12 against the Cowboys. We needed to do that. We did it. 3 games on the trot. And you know what that means, my bro? We actually have an opportunity to get that 9th position now. So I was just looking at the stats here. We've ended up on a 27 differential, plus 27 to the Seagulls 36. But the Seagulls got one more game to play here with the Panthers coming up on Sunday. So there's an opportunity. They drop some points there. We have an opportunity to get that 9th spot.
Come on, Penny Panthers.
That part of the season, bro, we were worried a little bit where we were sitting bottom 4, around that bottom 4 range, bottom 5. We've slowly just flipped it back on its head again, and we're getting back into the swing of things. So, especially with, Sean Johnson out and all that, it's just good to see as a squad overall.
Yeah, and again, speaks volumes to, the NRL is just a competition that, early in the season, we all expectation-wise was that we're going to go 24-0. That was the feeling. And obviously, you go through tough patches. We're just getting guys healthy back now. We had Ashley brought up a great stat, was it a week or 2 ago, about we had used the most players in the comp. I think we got up to using maybe 30 to 31 players at one point. But Webby's this current squad, the job that Tamai has done in the last few weeks is credit to himself, but also Webby and the team finding something refreshing in the offense, but also getting back to basics, getting back to what they believe in. And you've mentioned this a lot, is that in those games early on the season where we were struggling, it's like we lost our identity for a bit there, and now we're starting to get it back. And I just, it looks great. It really looks good.
Exactly. And it was good to see it came back with players like Mitch Barnett playing on the edge, just play with effort, just punching holes left, right, and center, ended up scoring a try in this game. You got Murata playing on the other side there. He had a nice stint to start the game, and then we switched some things around with Kate Well coming on. Kate Well played on the right, then switched to the left. There was a lot of variation to our team list tonight, and it didn't feel like that we had a lot of clunkiness. There was a couple of moments there. But there wasn't a lot of it, you know what I mean? I felt like we got through our game plan and everything clicked for us in moments. We had Dal, over chasing on kicks, batting the ball back inside for tries with Rocco, competing, Chancey getting there. Just incredible performance across the board. We had to do that, you know what I mean? Against the Cowboys team, they were down a couple of players.
Yeah,
we did what we were supposed to do, and that's the best thing to take out of this game too. And as I said before, completed high, all those key areas of the game. We played simple, played smart, but we also had a little bit of flair in our performance too, which was really, really cool to see.
Yeah, and I want to go back to just a week off, looking really fresh. And I thought the little change. I want to maybe point it out now, but interested to see what you think as well, Ash, about Jackson Ford and the role that he played. Did he get to 200 meters? I'm interested because it was carry after carry there for a lot, and it was effective. It was really cool, and we've been crying out for something like that in terms of front row. Obviously with Barnett and AFB, but we're talking specifically Bunty and AFB at times from last year going into this year as well.
Yeah,
that second prop hasn't always had the greatest numbers.
Yeah,
but to see the performance from Ford does for you that warrant him to hold that kind of role, that spot there.
Yeah, 100%. Before I get into that, bro, like shout out to Tony, the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. Always support the channel. We always support you, my man. Hopefully bring you good content for the future. Shout out to the chat again, guys. We'll chat in with you guys soon. Warriors Fan TV, good to see you there, my brothers. Yeah, bro, like really, really good to see, Jacko get for a ton of work. He just missed out on the 200 run meter mark. 173 with 63 66 post contact meters. Sorry, just off it, but you're right. He just felt like he was always in the game. You always noticed him. That was a big thing. Like, when you watch it, sit back, relax, and you don't like always go in depth on it. You just notice some players that just like always get their hands on the ball. He just always wanted the work. He got through the work. 18 runs in general overall. I think he close to topped it. You had Adam Fiddle-Blake with 19. And you had Chance Nickel-Clockstag with 22. Who knows? Maybe the stats will update. He'll get his 200. But it was so good to see that, as you said, got through a ton of work. Defensively, I didn't notice any big moments where he was out of position or he was really like... There was moments where maybe he was a little bit tired, but it didn't seem as noticeable to where teams started to attack him hard and he was falling off tackles left, right, and center. Yep. He stayed composed throughout the whole game. And it's the same thing we love about Jacko. We're seeing it on the edge. He just loves touching the ball. He loves getting into the dirty work. And, that's perfect for a middle player. And maybe we've found someone that will help this rotation in the future of Murata. We were looking at him as a middle player, but now we're looking like him as our strike edge back rower that we can play for 20, 30, 40, 50, and then have Kate Well to finish out the game and just have him for strike periods there on the edge and run someone like Jacko from the middle for long minutes and get through a ton of work, man. So I thought he had a stellar game, bro. What were your thoughts there?
Yeah, just again, you're just thinking that this is just what we need. And that secondary role, obviously, Adam's the focal point. He's going to be taking your first the hard carries, but also Adam's so good. We saw with his try, he just has that, agility, that elusiveness. But Barry's going to do those hard carries for you, and I thought he was awesome. And yeah, he found his energy dip in little moments. We did really well to hold on. There were periods that I think we got lucky in terms of the Cowboys were tied at the same time as we were. You could see little lulls in the game where they were about to go up, but then they didn't really match it and so we kind of got away with. Not to say we got away with it. We did a good job, but just felt at times other teams, if they, if Origin wasn't the case, they would probably go and push through in that second 20 of the first half. Exactly. So I thought that we did well to get through that, and I thought Jacko found his second win throughout the first half and actually in the second half as well. So, no, I mean, I think he holds that spot. I think the balance with Barnett and Murata to start the game, and then obviously moving Capewell in and doing that type of thing, I think it's a really good balance at the moment. Yeah, strong start. And continuous throughout the game. I was really pleased with that.
And we may as well continue to talk about our rotations and a new look at the side in this game here with Tohu Harris. So Tohu Harris coming off the bench in this one. I thought it really did suit him in this game. And as we're kind of touching on in the live stream, I think it'll help him for the future of like with the Warriors, like so we can keep him for as healthy as possible throughout the season. Getting through 14 runs in this game, 143 run meters with 54 post contact, and he did a ton of work off the bench and really helped out that middle period of the game where Dylan Walker had to come off, and it helps with Webby with those rotations to bring strike in certain periods of the game, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as the momentum started to shift with the Cowboys, me and you called out when ads got injected back into the game, and, Dylan Walker later on in the game, you start to notice those real impact changes. And that helps a lot, especially with big momentum shifts, which is all about rugby league at the moment. It's so tough to change that. Like, as I said in the stream, when we went 22-6 at halftime, I brought up the Cowboys are quite known for, bringing it home late as well. They have that late surge in them. They'll find a sniff and they'll just get back in the game somehow. They did it with the Panthers at full strength, both these teams at full strength, and almost pipping them, 26-20 at halftime there. It was 18-4 and bringing it home late. With us, like, Tohu helped steady the ship through that middle period and really held the Panthers, held the Cowboys at bay, and really helped us to continue when the strike players came back on to finish out the game and push it out to a 42-12 sort of finish. But what were your thoughts on Tohu, bro? Because I thought he was outstanding off the bench.
Yeah, he had a really good energy, and again, we've been asking for this. He's had to carry a lot of that load early in the season and found it difficult. And I think this was the right balance for him. And again, Webby, I think extending his minutes in the second half, just kind of getting him more. The game was kind of in our control, and I felt Webby led him on just to continue to get his feet under him. And look, it was great. He was very tight around the ruck. I thought, and he didn't again, when he comes and plays that first receiver role, he didn't overplay it too. He got the ball to, he played out the back the majority of the time to Mairi, and I thought that was really good. If you actually notice, we didn't really play out to our lead runners tonight, and it was good. It was we were trying to hit those edges really quick and sharp. So I think Tamaire, he played well balanced, and again, probably I'm wondering if coming off the bench, he gets to see how the game's panning out. He can see things, what their middles are doing, how he can kind of impact the game. And I thought he was really well balanced for me. So yeah, I would love to see that again. Him coming off the bench, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of keys to it, Like, as I kind of touched on, it's like the first key to it is number one, like we get to rest him for as long as we can. So like dictating on the game, we can maybe leave him off for a longer period and that. But also he could be the guy that legit comes on. And the one thing we know with Tohu is when he's fresh and ready to go, he stirs the ship so well. He's so like, he's a captain. He's our captain. So to bring him on in those middle periods where the Cowboys were starting to find their feet a little bit is the perfect change for us. It's very much what Bunty was good for. You know what I mean? When Bunty came on, he was always good for just holding it together in the middle until our strike comes back on the field and bang, we can finish out the game hard. But shout out to Tans too. When Tans came onto the stream, she was talking about her preferred look of, whether Webby would go with Dylan Walker over Tohu coming into next week. Like, what the look is there? He did that. Like, he made the big decision. He made the big choice, and it worked. And, I think as fans, we saw it. And Webby has really, gave us a nod. You know what I mean? He's like, obviously he would have known that better than all of us, right? Like, I don't want to say it was us that thought that, but you know what I mean? Like, it was good to see that Webby is onto these things too, and he's willing to make the big choice, and I feel like he's got the respect of the team to make these choices. So that's a good little part there.
Yeah, you saw Barnett, that he was cheering the boys on the sideline.
Yeah,
that's what we want to see, and we understand that there's again, online some people have been ridiculing me, say there's an opportunity here go for a championship, but I'm dead set serious. Like, you want to get everyone to buy in for this window, this campaign. This is what you're going to have to do because, it just can't have any egos and that type of thing. So that's my thoughts on it anyway.
Yeah, it was unreal, bro. I really did like the change and like the rotation and that. Shout out to Nanad. Again, another super chat. Appreciate you, my brother. Sharing the love. Did well. Go to Celtics on the cusp of the dot. Don't you bring the Celtics chat in this chat, bro. Don't you do this to me, man. But no, thank you for the $20, bro.
Just quickly, anyone can confirm that Adam is playing the drum in the post, and if they put the video out, I need to see Adam on that drum, man. If he's not in that changing rooms, whoever the security is, grab him, 3-man tackle him, and just drag him into that changing rooms. Please.
I expect Marata, Barnett, like alpha dogs to get into him because I don't want to see old Tamane on that trying to mess with, AFB.
Carry him on the old gurney, man. Strap him down, and just take him into that changing room. We do not want this man being dropped.
Well, on that point, bro, we may as well go through, the game of Adam Fanua-Blake because he actually got through a really big game. Like, he was noticeable, especially in his second stint coming on the field and changing momentum back in our favor, in my opinion. But, coming off of all the talk around ads, the way he was feeling with the squad, a lot of people saying he wanted out, all the rumors around Adam Fanua-Blake. It was good to see before this game, seeing on Instagram, seeing him happy with the team, like he's training with the team. And then in this game, scoring a try, looked happy, got through his work, 19 runs, 198 meters, like, bro, what more? Like, ads is a freak. But just good. 98 post-contact meters, bro. He almost he got more post-contact meters than what most people get in normal run meters. Like, he's a freak. But what were your thoughts on ads, bro? I thought just a sturdy knock from one of the best props in the game, and so good to see the Warriors fans get around him again.
Just again, I just knew he'd be professional about it. And that it almost like that whole story just died off. I mean,
bro,
media outlets will carry things on if there's whispers going around, and it was almost like, it was dealt with and it got shut down, and we haven't really thought about it over the bye. So, yeah, he just was professional, man. He's so good at what he does. We're gonna miss him, but while we've got him, we just want to maximize it. So, yeah, no Fiji trips. No Benjis, please, this week.
Please no. Please no.
But yeah, I loved it, bro. I absolutely loved it. What's your thoughts?
Oh, bro, just freakish, man. Just freakish. As I said, like the numbers are freakish, but like, just he's got that alpha dog, like that's the thing. It's like, don't want to talk too much about next season as well, because we're still on this season, but I think that's what a lot of people love about having Fisher Harris coming to us too, to have the replacement, is because these boys are like, they just got that big man mentality. Like they know they're the boss. Like they know that they control a football field. Like we have that in spades now. When we have ads in there, we also have Murata now. We have Mitch Barnett. We got players like that. And there was a moment in the game where I was like, it started to get chirpy. And off the kickoff, it was I think Jacko had the first hit up, or Tohu. And off the back of that, as soon as there's a little bit of wrestle in the ruck, ads and then Murata were back to back off of that. Yeah. And it was just like, they imposed it back on top of the Cowboys, got on the front foot, got us into good field position, and it was just like, what are you going to do against that? You know what I mean? Like, we're playing football. We're playing but we're the big dogs. Like, that's the best thing about having players like Aden and Murata and Niakota, is like, they're the big dogs that change the game. They get momentum back in their favor. So, it's just so good to see him play good football, and everyone's going to forget about that story. Hopefully.
Yep. No, well, you get rid of it by winning, right? And again, just get him in the change. Get him in the change room. Get him on that drum. But yeah, his performance, obviously, and the club, the culture within the club, to be able to correct the guy and get a result straight after, it just speaks volumes for what's happening culturally at the Warriors right now. And but yeah, I just thought I really love the width we played with. If you looked at a lot of the shape, the passes Egan was giving, it was almost like 3 wide and hitting Walker, and then they'd set a shape on an edge. It was really, really well done, orchestrated. I think they're really starting to find key in on what they want to try and achieve. And I just think overall, it was one of the best performance of the year for me. It was. Yeah, it was really, really smooth.
Top notch overall. And while we're talking about high work rate sort of players, bro, we may as well touch on our fullback. The man, the myth, the legend, Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Another amazing shift tonight. 22 runs overall, 251 run meters. 75 of those are from kick return meters, but 79 post-contact meters. The 2 line breaks. Bro, did you just go on with these stats? 3 tackle breaks, 2 tries actually in this one. Just a freak, man. Just a freak out back. What were your thoughts on his performance overall?
Yeah, I mean, I think we just come to expect this from Chance, but he was really well balanced. I think he was the first try. I don't know if there was disallowed. I don't know if he scored that, but he played that. But his try to fight through Val Holmes, fend off and go for the corner, I thought that was really, really good. But then, defensively, just little things. I think overall the team did a really good job of just not letting the Cowboys in our goal line, and that's credit to the system. But I thought he was really smart in his positional play. I got a little bit upset at him about that one, but he played it well. The one along the sideline where Burns actually knocked it on.
Yeah.
So he was actually really good in positional work. But the work rate and then the little tip-ons, passes, the kick for, I think he put in the kick for Dallin and followed through and scored. So absolutely awesome.
Just unreal, man.
Yeah.
He's a leader by his actions, huh? Like we've got that in our side with our fullback like that. And I know a lot of talk around, like a lot of people were thinking about Tane Tuapiki, having him there with Chance in our full strength squad. And then where Rogers sits in there, Chance has been doing this for us like every game. Like I don't remember a game he went sub 100 meters, sub 200 meters, if I'm being honest. Like he always hits around that 200 meter mark, gets through a ton of work. A couple of errors in this game. So he toned down on that a little bit, but he gets through so much work, he covers for that. And as you said, that had that one moment defensively where he possibly should just get on the ball and just die with it. It is what it is. Don't risk too much, because sometimes that can go so many different ways. But overall, I thought just a great knock from such a great player, 251 meters. Yeah, that's a ton of work to get through from your back end there, man. And we might as well like move it on to the complete back line, bro. Like our
Yep.
complete back line. What were your thoughts overall? The connections between like, you know, Rocco Berry, Dallin, Pompey had a couple of moments there. He got the offload free. He had the one that almost got Chanel over. That was unfortunately intercepted. Marcelo, some of the work he did out of his back end. Like, what were your thoughts overall on our complete back line there?
Yeah, the back line played really well. I love them. Again, I've got to give Marcelo a lot of credit. His ball defusal. Again, like I said, he's going through his checks and reads. He's really keyed in on what he's got to do, his job, his role.
Safe.
Yeah, safe. Pompey was great. Goal kicking has been clutch the last three to 4 games. We've needed that quality. Again, like little things. If you don't have a goal kicker and you miss, it can change the whole point. You know, what do they call it? Scoreboard pressure. It's important to keep scoreboard pressure on the mind of the opposition so that they know they're not going to get a chance back in. And I thought he nailed the one from the sideline was beautiful. Just little things like that. But Berry, I thought was great. That little one-on-one tackle. I think it was on Val Holmes early in the game. He nailed that tackle. The try, he fought through. The ball bounces off, and he fought through and scored. And then the little, just little things. He's starting to round out himself, and I thought it was a really good game. Dallin, that touchback, like wow, it reminds me of him. There was a Gold Coast last year when he passed the ball around the corner to Sean.
Yep.
And again, I love a guy that Dal scored 24 tries last year, but this season hasn't been the greatest for his try scoring. But he's still involved in try assists, making things happen, not giving up on a play. So yeah, I just think the whole backline was really well balanced, and I think even numbers wise, they all chipped in for good run meters and played consistent. Yeah. What was your thoughts?
We'll go through their run meters overall. So Dal got 142, Marcelo 126, so over the 100 mark, which is great to see. Both getting through a decent amount of runs overall, 14 and 11. And Rocco even get through a ton of work there, 85 meters. You got Bomps with 60 meters, but more of Pompey's like work happened with a bit more class. And again, with the kicking boot, as you said, with the goal kicking, I was kind of wondering where he's at this season with his goal kicking because I don't, from memory, know how many kicks he's missed. Like, it's always seemed like he's got it over the black dot. He's very sturdy this year with his kicking game, which is a lot of people's question around Pompey after the Broncos game last year. I know a lot of people, as soon as they saw Pompey pick up the tee again, they're like, oh no, here we go. Like he's all for goal kicking, but he's at 87% right now at goal kicking. He's kicked 14 out of 16. So, like, he's only missed 2 kicks this season. Like,
wow.
Bro, like, incredible. And every time he's just stood up for us right now. And even if, like, we're down with injury, he's just so sturdy. He just plugs away, does his work, doesn't do a lot wrong. You know what I mean? And I thought he was incredible in this game. Rocco, just another high work rate game for him. Like, it's all the little things that Rocco does that we love so much about him. Also scoring 2 tries in this game, so double for him. Well deserved. Anyone that works that hard deserves the meaties, like, those big moments in the game. So amazing work overall. Tries overall, you had 2 tries to Chance, 1 try to Dallin, 2 tries to Rocco. That's our backline. And you had Adden and Mitch Barnett to finish it off there. So just incredible, bro. Just incredible to see the boys get on the score sheet overall.
Yeah, man. Like, again, it was just really well balanced. A clinical performance. Everyone played their role. Again, it's like a musical piece or an orchestra. Every part plays its role into a beautiful song. So I thought, the guys, everyone didn't overplay their hand. Sorry to use a musical analogy, but the drummer wasn't too loud, the bass wasn't too, and the vocalist wasn't, off. Everyone was like, the levels were really good, and it made look for a great performance. So yeah, I think there was just really cohesiveness was at a really high point. So I loved it. I loved that. The work from them. Yeah.
And talk about music, bro. Let's talk about our conductors of this game. So we're going to go through their halves and our thoughts on the halves. How about that, bro? A little bit of layup.
Nice little segue there. Little alley there. I set you up. You got it, mate. Nice.
Love that, baby. Love that. So Tamade Mutton, like, big step up. Sean Johnson out. There was a lot of questions over him at that 6 role. He's coming to the 7 and has really controlled us to 3 massive victories that we needed as a club through that little period there. you know, getting through a ton of work as well. His running game was on tonight, 77 run meters, 3 line break assists, 4 try assists, just incredible numbers from our man at number 7. And then you have the perfect little foil with Chanel with a little bit of his kicking game as well. Like the variation of our kicking game has come through a lot of now, and I know a lot of our fans wanted a variable in our kicking game as well. Like really, really good numbers from both these boys. So Tamade Martin, 441 kick meters. Chanel Harris-Davida, 243 kick meters. Between the two of them, incredible work from both those boys there. But what were your thoughts on our halves, how they controlled the team, how'd their backline sets look? What were your thoughts overall from both their performances?
Just a quick shout out to you, Ash. Nice segue. And Jose saying segue of the year. Tahi saying the backup dancers were sweet too. And Rich is saying they're playing a nice jazzy tune. The smooth operator there. No, mate. They honestly, I didn't see Tamari having this type of performance. And I mean, we talked about it. Remember that one clip where we looked at Tamari and him and Roger weren't on the same page, and it just looked so disorientated, and we were questioning his communication. This team has really just gotten behind him, and he's just had so much confidence in what they're trying to do. And he's done such a great job for himself, proved that he can do it at this level, and without Sean, who is kind of the rock of what we've been doing, to be able to perform at this level has been absolutely awesome. And then the foil of CHT has been really well balanced. I mean, it's great to see that kicking options, even CHT getting it from the left to right, kicking across for his left foot, all the varieties. I thought they did really well in their kicking options. They got most of, not all of them, close to being right, kicking the ball in a variety of different places, making it difficult for the wingers or the fullback. But they orchestrated a really good game. I just really, really pleased with them. And defensively, for the majority, was really good too. So, solid. Yeah, man. What'd you make of them, Ash?
Yeah, to touch on that, bro, like as you said, defensively, like they've made, 16 tackles for Tamade, 15 for Chanel. Only 1 tackle missed for Chanel and 1 tackle missed there for Tamade. Like that's incredible. Like, if you got that with your halves too, because a lot of halves will average around that 2, 3, 4 range. That just helps again on top of that with their attacking game too. As soon as they get into the game defensively, usually opens up their attack. You hear that so much with some of the best 7s and 6s in the game. First of all, do it on the defensive end, and then your attack will flourish on that. The same thing with their running game. Like both these boys can run the football. Chanel can just pull out some like freakish shit out of nowhere. Like as we touched on in the game, there was like that volleyball like little there too. Like, bro, yeah, just freakish. But I thought they were both incredible. Like the best thing about having Tamade fill in this role here now too is like we can rest Shawnee for as long as possible to make sure he's okay. And we've struggled with that in the past. We've had a lot of moments where we lost Shawnee and we've crumbled, and it's good to see that we stood up, and pressure made diamonds here. I really do feel that. I felt like that period of like we're all looking at Tamade to step up in that 6 jersey. It wasn't really happening. And then he had to step up with the Panthers game because he had that number 7 jersey. There's so much pressure that comes with that. And he had to chat. He had to communicate. He had to get the team around the park. He had to learn these little things. And this could only help him if he was to get that 6 jersey, or even Chanel coming in, like similar sort of things. Is doing it without Sean Johnson. You got to pick up little things. So when Sean Johnson comes in, you can now have that confidence to be like, all right, Shawnee, I've got it now. Like we can do this together, instead of Shawnee having to be like, I feel like I have to do it by myself. You build trust that way. You build that combination. You build, pressure makes diamonds. I really do believe that. We got ourselves in a really big hole, and we've come out of it a lot better than what maybe we had before that, in that little period there. So that was my thoughts there, bro. Like I've loved what I've looked from Tamade. Good to see him change the view set on what he was before that 6 jersey. So we may as well ask the question though, bro. Like, I know it's so tough. Like when Shawnee gets back, because there's a lot of rumors is next week against the Manly Seagulls. I still would love to see, if he's not 100%, rest him another week. But who do you prefer in that 6 jersey? Because right now I'm kind of 50-50 still. I could see Tamade getting back in that 6 jersey and killing it. But like Chanel has done such a good job to be a foil that it probably does suit maybe Shawnee if he is going to be the main man a bit more, and Tamade maybe there would be a little bit of miscommunication between those two. Again, I'm not too sure. Like, that's the only thing I'm worried about if it was to go back to that. Chanel just tunes in, and he tunes in at the right moments. What's your preferred 6 at the moment, off the top of your head?
I think it goes back to when Mighty went into the halves, right? It changed. It actually changed. Like, they actually changed the approach in which they played.
Yeah.
And I think the balance we're striking right now is the right balance. I think you go with Tamari just based on what he's done, and you look at it and you analyze it, and you just really have to see what happens with Sean. The thing I love about Tamari was the cutout pass that bounced onto Dell, but Sean would never do that pass.
Yeah,
Sean wouldn't even throw that. But I like that. I like that about Tamari.
Yeah,
it's a variable. It's an unknown. It's kind of like he has this about his game where he'll pull the trigger more times than not, and in a different way. So I think you got to give him another shot, but you also got to say, look, Sean, the shape that we're running right now, and Tamari being more involved will work better, and we just need to. It's almost like Sean just needs to take a more limited role, or just a varied role, and maybe just, I don't know what it was before that wasn't working, but for what's been working in the last 3 weeks, everyone can attest that that's the style that's been working, and we should be trying to do that more often. But I think you definitely go Tamaide first. But you might say to yourself, if it doesn't work again with Tamaide, you might have to go CHT because of that balance of the kicking game, the balance of that. But then again, you're asking yourself, if Sean, what if Sean comes in and we lose 5 straight?
That's where it gets tough, right? And I know a lot of fans will have that question too. Like, I think a lot of fans would even have that question now. Like, I reckon there's a small base of fans right now going like, why would you bring Sean back in? And I think like a lot of people got to also remember like how good Sean can be and how good Sean was. Like, there was a small period to start this year. We looked absolutely incredible. I know we lost a couple of games to start the season, but even those performances, we had some amazing performances there. And I still believe in that. And then when you look at last season as well, like Sean was so close to winning a Dally M at number 7. Like, that's the type of man that we have in Sean Johnson. So for me, he can't lose that spot unless he proves to lose that spot. And even when he was a lot of that period there, in that bad period, he was injured. And we all know that. It was heavily rumored throughout the media. He hadn't trained for a good 6 weeks with the squad. Like, it didn't really work there. So with Tamade coming, I agree with you. I'd love to have Tamade in that 6 role and have Sean Johnson in that 7 when he gets back. Shawnee's got the bigger kicking game. He definitely will help us in maybe a bit more range in that kicking game, even though I think Tamade has stepped up so well in that position as well. I think we've got to have Shawnee there to get us around the park still, all those little things. But again, I agree with you. Tamade needs that gunslinging role now. Like, give him the ball, let him have those moments on that left side, just let it go. Like, that's the best thing, as you said about Tamade, is he's a gunslinger. Like, he'll die by the sword. Like, he'll just throw it what he wants to throw. He'll do what he wants to do. And we saw moments of that. Like, he's got the confidence now to do that. Allow him to do that now in that 6 jersey, to overcall Shawnee and say, I'm going to do something now. And it works for us if that happens. So I agree. If that doesn't work that way, I think we got a Chanel there that's waiting to go. He's a foil. Like, he doesn't overplay his hand too much. He'll play that 6 jersey really well. He's a bit more of the safe option, in my opinion. I feel like Tamade is a bit more of like, we're going to test him again, see how he goes. Because I think that if it goes well, we could look really deadly with the 2-half look there that can throw the ball left, right, and center.
I think the other option too is that you ideally want to keep Chanel as a utility. Like, he's better than Lussick at this, if Egan's healthy, and you want him on the bench. So if they just need to get Tamari and Sean right, if they can get it right and the balance is right, I honestly feel for Sean. I mean, the team's rounding out to be a bit better now. I think that pays into it. I think guys, obviously the whole we've come to a decision that Catewell's not going to be that starting right edge player, and I think that was troubling. That relationship didn't work initially, so we haven't really seen Sean with Murata yet. I believe, is it? Would you be right in saying that? Did he miss playing with Murata, or maybe
in the preseason he didn't play preseason?
When he got injured, did Murata come back for the Roosters game, or was it the game after? I can't really remember.
The game after.
Okay, so yeah, he'll have Marata back there to work with. Um, I think things should iron themselves out, and no doubt, yeah, getting him rested. I agree with you, Ash. Give him another week if it's not absolutely right. I even think the calf, that was the main injury he
That was
had
a
or
big,
whatever it was.
yeah, the
If
Achilles,
that's
yeah.
not right, like don't force it. Don't
Yeah.
force it. Let Tamari and CHT go up against the Storm, which I think is going to be a great battle. But
Mm-hmm.
let them get that experience and see what happens. But if he's not fully right, because we got maybe about 10 more games after this or 9 more games,
Yeah,
you
something
know.
like that, bro. We're about over midway now.
So let
Yeah.
Sean get a good run of eight or 9 games or whatever it is, and make sure he's ready to rock and roll. Because like you said, he is a class player. I'm not when I'm saying discrediting him when I'm trying to say that he shouldn't come in. We're just saying we want him perfectly healthy, get everything right, and then he can come in and we're going to make that run moving into the last. So thank you, Jacko. Yeah, 11 games left. So
11 games, yep.
if it's one more game off, you can live with that.
Yeah.
That's how I think of it.
As long as he's right by the go time, if we are able to make the finals, if we are able to get to that position to do that, that's why I like a lot of all these things like, Tohu having a bench look and looking like he's a bit more fresher now off the bench. Like things look good like that. Shawnee, rest him up. Make sure he's all good because these guys are the experienced key pieces that we need for a finals push if we are able to make the finals and get into a good position. Like if we don't have Sean Johnson, we don't have like a lot of those other key pieces. Unfortunately, my confidence for us to make a grand final or get that far would wither away a little bit. My
Yeah, of
confidence
course.
is sky high if we have those experienced pieces that have been there and done that and like got to a good level, like a Sean Johnson and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's a great chat. And like also you got the filter on top of that too. We're still waiting on Metcalf and whether Metcalf, what time later on the season he's going to come back, hopefully even August or September. So like that's another thing that you got to add into it too is like, what's the look there? Like, do you want Metcalf straight back in? Do you want to rest him up again until he's all good? It's like that's going to be a tough call for Webby, and probably I'm going to have to see like how they train and the cohesiveness between the squad.
Isn't it serendipitous that I think was it Metcalf got injured against the Knights with the same injury Tamari got injured with?
It's crazy, right?
That's so weird, man. Oh,
it's so
yeah.
weird. They've done it like the opposite ways, yeah, exactly. It's like near the same round, right? We played the Roosters when Tamade went down, and before that, Tamade was looking incredible with us. I thought he was incredible, and then Met sparks like something for mid-season for a late push. Tamade's had a big role now, spark something. So very similar seasons, bro. This is really uncanny. Really uncanny.
Yeah, it's just really weird that he's probably going to come back in the same time. And again, yeah, if he's coming back, it sounds like an injury, a really hard injury to come back from. So I wouldn't be trying to rush him. But if we can get everyone on deck, like for me, it's just about getting everyone available, get everyone healthy. I think it was the right balance of the bench as well. Jazz played a great game. He was really solid.
Yeah.
And you have those experienced guys like Tohu, and you keep them on the bench. I know Ale, he'll get there eventually, but you make way for a Tohu there. You assimilate, you get guys like Capewell who haven't played in a little while, get some minutes, and then you just, it's about getting them to the finish line and making sure everyone's as healthy as possible. But I thought that was a really good performance by Webby. What do you make of the interchanges, the timings of them? I thought everything was really, really good.
Really solid, bro. I was really, really happy with it. Like, as I said, with as we chat about, like Adam Fanor Blake and, the moments where he put players on were the perfect moments that I wanted to see, like the changes happen. Like, we were talking about it in this thing is like, when was the moment to bring Jacko and those boys off? Because they were having a period there where they were like a little bit dying off. They were on the other end of the hill, like 15 to go. We saw the double change, the triple change there. You had Tohu come on. You had, Jazzy come on. These boys started to click up a gear again. And then Tohu got us all the way through to when Ads came back on after halftime. The Cowboys started to have a little bit more success again. And bang, Ads came back on. It just felt like we were punching back through them again. And Webby, yeah, just there's a lot of things you can take out of this, as in like Webby learning so many different things and like learning the game and learning to be a coach. Like he made a big choice about putting our captain to the bench. He made a massive choice of like Dylan Walker, our starter 13. He made a massive choice that Kurt Capewell, one of our key signings, is now off the bench, as we've seen here. Like he's learning so many different things and he's making some really hard decisions that a lot of people were worried that he wouldn't be able to make in that little period that we had with him there. And he's learnt that, you know what I mean? He's gotten over that hump. So, well, for me anyway, hopefully he doesn't go back to anything there, but at the moment, I'm trusting in our coach. Like I continue to trust in Webby. Like I think we've never lost full trust in Webby, but he's just showing us so many different strings he's adding to the bow, if that makes sense. Like he's earning chapters in his book, and it's so great to see, man. It's so good that we're sticking with a coach that's got so much potential, because we can all see it. We just want to see this whole team come together and grow into what it can be. So what were your thoughts with Webby and his changes and the big choices he had to make, my bro?
Yeah, bold. You know, most coaches will live by the guys they've signed. I mean, hey, you signed Capewell on 3 years. You know, there's a temptation there to say, oh well, he should technically be the starting back rower. You know, you go with Tohu and the seasoned veteran that he is, and you get a look at Walker and see what he's doing, and you're saying, wow, that's making a difference. Well, he's not afraid to make those changes. You know, so it's a coach that's on the pulse, and he's not afraid to do what needs to be done in the best interests of the team, and that the team have bought into him, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that for me is just about the culture of the club. They understand that, you know, and for me, he's got so much trust. The boys trust him so much that he's able to drop them or change the role that they have. And now look, we're getting the results we need. And that's what you got to just get buy-in and say, hey, mate, you know, we know you haven't worked. We see you now as more of a bench guy. Give us your 120%. And the guys are saying, yep, we'll do what you need, coach, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's the best thing you can ask for, is your players being able to follow your instructions and do it to the best of their ability without thinking about, hey, I'm on the bigger pay scale here, or hey, I've come here as a marquee signing. You know, that for me is just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't think pay grade should ever dictate where you sit on the team. I think if you get in that starting 17, you're worth anything on your on your pay packet anyway. So no matter what, so whatever impact you're having on the squad, you know, that's how much you're worth to us as a player in our squad. And I think that's the key thing with Kurt Capewell. You're seeing it now of like, he could be that perfect bench role that we had in like a Josh Curran and a Bailey Sirenin last year, of like a player that can come on, fill multiple different positions, but also he brings that experience that those guys didn't really have comparatively. Like, you know, Kurt Capewell's done it on the big stages. Like he's been there, he's done that. I know he hasn't been so convincing to start the season, but if he slowly continue to click over these performances here and do the little things right, and, you know, if a player goes down, bang, you can plug and play him anywhere, really. And there's so much versatility on this bench. Having him come off the bench just adds another key piece to versatility that we have. He can play center if he needs to, like play from the middle, play on the edge. Yeah, there's a lot of big key like things that Webby is like putting into place now. And it's starting to come to fruition. It's really, really good to see overall. Yep. I know to start the season, I was like, Morata's going to be that impact player off the bench. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. Morata is our starting edge back rower, and he's looking great doing that. He's still that strike piece that we have on that side, still that aggressive piece that we have. And unfortunately, Kurt Capewell is not that, you know, guy that I thought he was to start with, but he's still got the ability there. It's just like he needs to get confident and see where his position is with the squad after, you know, he gets a little bit of reps under his belt and gets back to the position we know he can be. So to add on top of that too, I know we spoke about a lot of our forward pack, but we're going to talk about the guy that actually puts it all together there in the middle. Wade Egan, like I know you pointed out a couple of times in this game, he started to get out of ruck again. There was a couple of like ruck deception moments too with him that he lost in that little period, that he was either injured or he was out. Like, what were your thoughts on Wade Egan's game tonight? I felt like he came back a little bit to where we wanted him to be before this, you know, when we had that little period there where we lost a little bit of that running out of dummy half and, you know, playing with the markers and stuff. Like, I thought he went through a really good knock tonight. What were your thoughts?
Really, really, really good. Yeah, again, when you see Wade darting out of dummy half, and breaking through the markers. It just speaks volumes about the team is on a good roll.
Yeah.
I thought the passing precision was on point, hitting guys at the ad line really sharp. The width in the pass too to Walker. Walker sort of being that key man, setting a shape on an edge early in a set. It was really well done, and defensively was really solid as well. He just looks in a good bit of health. I know for him, his health is up and down, and I think that's the thing we wish for him, that he remained as healthy as possible. But what did he play? Maybe 68 minutes there. Probably could have played 80.
Yeah.
So I thought he orchestrated everything really well. I think the goal line attack, he was clinical, getting his passes to the right man. I think that combo of Walker being there is a good target man for him. And just it's just great to see that. And that gain, it speaks to the volumes of what's happening in the team, is that, if Wade is darting through, that's telling you that the system's working well. So he was awesome with me. Yeah.
Yeah, he's that lively piece in the middle, that he is a little bit of that what would you call it, like that gauge of, when the team is up and about. As soon as you start to see him get a sniff, like, the markers are offset and stuff like that, is usually when it's like, all right, we're on here. Like, something's moving, something's going well, and he starts to get a sniff. He starts to get the confidence within himself because he's got the ability. I think the only thing in question is about Egan, is what we all say, is just him staying on the field and staying healthy. Like, he got knocked around a little bit again in this game, but it's good to have that cover of Freddie Lustig to put on there if we're ever worried about it at the moment. And then whenever, Shawnee comes back, most likely it'll be Chanel or something like that to cover, or he may even still be Lussick, who knows, but still got through, a ton of work in the middle, like 36 tackles. I think that topped our tackles overall too, so got through a ton of work that way. 3 missed tackles, but, Wado, he gets spotted up a lot in defense. A lot of teams want to get a lot of work out of him in defense so he doesn't kill him in attack. But he's still doing some great work in attack, and it's good to see him get back to that old school Wade Egan that we know and love out of dummy half. So I thought it was a really good knock from him. And then filtering through the rest of the other sides, bro, like Murata Niakure, like what were your thoughts on him and Mitch Barnett? We may as well throw them together, the two damaging edge back rollers that we have now that seem to be Murata obviously coming back, and both of them at one point looking like they were going to be middles. Like, obviously, Mitch Barnett was one of our preferred middles to start the season. He was incredible.
Yep.
Moving to an edge has really unlocked that left edge in moments too, because of how hard he runs the ball. And then you got Murata, same sort of thing, bro. Just that alpha dog on that side. Defensively holds in strong. So what were your thoughts on both our edge back rollers and how they've unlocked our game lately?
Mate, they're just venomous. They're that style is what we need, and it works well defensively. Obviously, the halves that they're attacking on those edges are sitting back a bit more. You're not seeing massive jams from the edges at the moment. So it's because of that they're holding value. They're holding, they're holding those defenders back a bit, which is opening options for us. So I thought Murata just had some great runs. Murata's work around the ruck and in the defensive line. If you watch Murata, he gets off his read really quick and pushes over. He just pushes. He's just like pushing the line along to keep moving.
Yeah.
He's just a really good quality player. And yeah, I thought he played a really, really good game. Did a good shift early, and then I think got a bit of a break. But him and Barnett, that's what you want. And I think those two moving forward. You see that little pun, moving forward? Those two moving forward. You got to be thinking, people. The next level. I'm on the next level here. Get a little layup. But yeah, moving forward into the prop, and then those guys, moving forward will be great. So
yeah, the 3-piece set, didn't you?
a little layup and a little 3-pointer there. But yeah, so those are the damaging back runners that we need. Barnett, that try was great. Again, just line running. The timing of the lines are really good, but they're damaging. Those guys, you're getting more bang for your buck from Barnett from those edges, and those halves are just getting tired, So,
yeah,
that's what we want. That's what we want to see. Yeah.
100%, bro. Like, sort of analogy I like to sit with, like, because it was kind of the thing. It's like, what were we missing? That 4-game block of, like, I was looking into, like, and really came down to for me is like using our edge back rollers and them being a key point in attack, because I believe that all the best teams in the comp have a strong edge back roller that punches holes and start the attack. It's kind of like in soccer, like the CDMs are known as the pivot man. Like they're the pivot, like, you know, the attack starts from them, and they're the best defensive pieces there too. Like an edge back roll is the same thing in NRL. Like, you know, you run your tram lines and your attack on short sides and open sides shift off of an edge back rower mainly. You know what I mean? You spot up on half there. And in defense, they do some of the hardest work, obviously covering for a half, but also shifting off their assignments and working in the middle there too. So two edge back rollers that we have now, both are just alpha dogs. I've been saying it so many times for the stream already, but it's such a key thing to have in our side now too. Is like, think of it as if you're an attacking side. Like, what edge would you rather go to? You got Murata that is willing to go out of a line and, you know, put a hit on and change momentum on that side with you. And then you go, all right, I don't want to go that way. Let's go the other way with Mitch Barnett. Oh, no, I don't want to go. That guy can be unhinged as well. You know what I mean? Like, we've got like some damaging players on both sides that mitigate a lot of those outside shifts that could, you know, put a lot of pressure on halfbacks a lot of times. And you see halves maybe crumble under the pressure because they got such a hard edge back roller just pumping them all night, whether in attack and defense, you know what I mean? And pause on that sort of comment. But yeah, unreal, bro. Like, it's so good to have those boys, both those boys playing great football. And, you know, as I keep saying, like, I used to prefer Mitch Barnett on the middle, and I think I still do, but like, he's doing such a great job on the edge. Like, maybe it is a better look that we have him on the edge now and just leave him there and just continue to plug in and just do your work there and just be that strong piece. And for a Blues fan, like any Blues fan you're in there, like the Blues have got to be looking at him now. Like I feel like he's definitely another piece that could add to a Liam Martin and all those boys that were putting off hits left, right, and center. Like, he'd be perfect for you guys. He would be perfect for you guys. And he worries me as a Maroons fan. I've always said it. So yeah, Mitch Barnett, bro. Freak.
Just quickly from I just saw Jose saying, Ash, did you like Catewell in this game? I know we haven't got to the bench, but what was your thoughts on Catewell?
Yeah, we may as well touch on the bench too. Yeah, bro. I enjoyed Catewell's work. I felt like he came on the right side, right? From memory, for Nick Cordet came off. He came on that right side, then had to shift to that left side when Barney went off. I thought that he plugged in. He played really well. He played in behind the ruck really well in a couple of moments there. When Catewell does a lot of his best work is when he bounces off the tackles and gets through the middle and, like, you know, tries to get in behind the markers, that sort of look. But also, you know, his kick chase and stuff like that. So really, really enjoyed his work off the bench and his energy that he had. I just still want to see a little bit more added pieces to his game again. Like, I've seen him, like, do moments of, like, breaking tackles a little bit more, like little things that I do want to see more out of him. But if he continues to do what he did tonight and just can grow on those performances, like 57 meters, he's never been a stat sheet player, but I still have a feeling like there is more in him. Like, I want to still want to see more. But what he did tonight was suffice for me at the moment. I just want to see a better performance than that again, you know, for him to grow into this performance. Because I know a lot of people, because we signed him, he was a key signing. Like, we want to see a little bit more out of him. I think a lot of people do agree.
Yeah, I think he was good. I think there will come games where maybe you might go Ali instead of him, for more of a Spencer Lenu type impact. I will be interested to see it up against a more stiffer competition and how that goes. But again, I think it's part of the whole, just keeping everybody fresh. Did he play a little bit of left back row, or was it right side? I can't remember which one it was.
I'm sure when he came on, bro, when he came on the right side, and then they shifted him to the left.
Yeah.
When Barnett came on, I can't remember who filled in that right. I think Murata came back on that right. So there was a lot of variation with our middles, and we talked about it before the game, before the stream was, you know, we have the variation now of Mitch Barnett could fill a middle role if someone goes down in the middle. We bring Kurt Catewell on that left side. You know, Jackson forward in the middle. He can shift to an edge back role. We've seen that look now. You know, ads in our attacking set sometimes can get played in an edge back role. We've had him shift to an edge and play him as an edge back roller. Like, there's so much versatility with this squad here. So honestly, you couldn't really predict where Kurt Catewell is going to come onto a game, whether he's going to play left or right, in my opinion. Like, that's the best part about him as well.
Hey, quickly, people, we've got 159 of you guys in here, 59 on Wires Up TV. If you haven't already, can you give us a like? We want to get up to, we're at 44 likes. Can we get up to about 60, please? And Wise Up TV on Twitter. Thank you. You got 98 of you guys in here. If you are here for the first time, please give us a like and subscribe for all New Zealand Warriors content. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, man, I think for me, it will come right. It will come around. But who else was off the bench? I mean, we talked a little bit about Tohu. Jazz for you?
Walker. Yeah, Jazzy. We'll go Jazzy. Jazzy just did again what he did. He didn't have the same punch as what he did in other games, but still, like, defensively, some of his cleanup work is still on there. Like his chopping tackles. I remember one off the top of my head on, Tamalolo. Like he had to deal with some big bodies in the middle and still chops really low.
Yeah.
Got through his work like that. He made 24 tackles, didn't miss any. So that's a big tick for him there as well. And, he made 73 meters off 9 runs. So that's a pretty good knock there. Could have gone maybe an uptick there as well. But, he only played, from memory, I didn't think he played too long. Like, he only played 28 minutes in this game, bro. So he still punched out a decent amount of numbers there in 28 minutes. So I thought he had a really good game. Again, he's just that player that we didn't really get to see the Ball brothers look yet. Again, you know what I mean? In this game, it was more like Tohu had a decent chunk of that middle period to where Jazzy came on with them. But there will be a game where, Dylan Walker and Jazzy will come on and we'll have that, foot speed for in the middle, the late shift in the passing, that sort of stuff where I think it opens up Jazzy's game a lot too. So I thought he was good, bro. I thought he was good. What were your thoughts on Jazzy?
Yeah, just didn't overplay his hand. Like I thought, those grass cutting tackles are awesome, chopping guys down, and just consistent. For me, Jazzy, he's just coming to. I mean, this was a guy that people were bagging at the start of the year. Get rid of him. He's not going to make it. And now he's holding his ground. He just looks fit, and his work rate's really high. So, for me, he's been really playing really well. So, yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. In fact, tonight did nothing happen that was, a drop ball or anything like that. No penalties, nothing risky, nothing stupid. Just quickly on the CHT Sinbin. Oh man.
Oh yeah, we're gonna touch on that, bro. Oh man, disgrace, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like,
I have no idea.
Kind of brought up in our live stream, bro. Like, what I saw Ben Hunt, score a try on Samuel Fainu last night. and did exactly the same thing that Chanel did. I understand Chanel had that little chirp before that, but you know, that Tigers Dragons game was chirpy before that as well. Like, is that the precedent now? Like, it didn't happen in the other game, but it happened in this game. Like, what? This is what I mean as rugby league fans. We kind of like, I hate the whole thing of when rugby league fans also say like, we need consistency. Like, sometimes you just can't have that. But again, like when it's blatant like that, it's kind of like, what are we doing? Like, this is rugby league. These are like alpha dogs getting together and bashing each other. And you're going to get sin bin for throwing a ball at someone that didn't even react after getting the ball thrown at him. Like, he walked away after it. Made no sense. What were your thoughts, bro?
It's what happened to the good old days where you just pull two guys aside and say, hey, boys, I know things are getting a bit heated here. We just need to calm it down. Next one, if anyone does anything, you're going off, okay? Whatever happened to that little pre-talk where you talk to the players and just say, hey, guys, what's the problem? You want to talk it out now? You know, and then you move on. Like, these refs are just jumping to conclusions. If it's the bunker, I have no idea what's happening, but it's just going against the grain of footy. Hey, every game in park footy, whatever it is, you pull the guys aside, say, hey, guys, it's untowards, whatever it is. Split it, you know, let's sort it out. Let's have a clean game, captains. Now they're just pulling the trigger like send-offs. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
There's a lot going on.
It's ridiculous.
It's like, it's wild because like, that first little like moment, because there wasn't a lot of chirp before. Like, there was a little bit of chirp from Chatty to start the game. Like, you notice that the little boys, like, I think there was a try there. I think Barnett went over. There was a little bit of chirp early there. But then like, it didn't really turn into anything. And then they had that moment where the boys, you know, Bompy and Montoya, that beautiful tackle to get, you know, felt back off his feet and take him out. And then you had Chanel chirping as Chanel can be. Like, he's a funny, bro, I love Chanel having him there and that. But, you know, that push and shove only happened for a couple of seconds. And the boys, you know, they filtered into the scrum. Things happened like that. It didn't take up the whole game. So I couldn't understand, like, it wasn't like back to back to back things where I was like, and it wasn't even infringements of like, they grabbed jerseys and like punched on with each other. They didn't push each other. They didn't go crazy like that. it was like that one chirp, nothing happened. He threw the ball on him, nothing happened. Like everyone else pushed and shoved. Like it didn't make sense to me. I was just like, what are we doing? Like we aren't. This is not the game that we are. Like it's not the game that we are. It just is. It just isn't.
Yeah, and you talked about, was there a game last night where the guy threw it on his head? They all do it. They've always done it. Like if the person gets a penalty, I think Montoya threw the ball at who? Who was that at?
In
After
this one,
he threw the ball at Lukey. He threw the ball at
yeah.
Lukey. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna try to find, bro. Legit, like, Ben Hunt. He had that moment. He like scored in. It was like in a big moment of the game. The Dragons and Tigers had a coming together earlier on in the game. They have a little bit of feeling between those two teams, and Samuel Afanu is just known for being a guy that has a quick fuse.
Yeah.
And he I think he had a moment where like legit like he dummied and went, beat a couple of blokes. Samuel came in late. He got up, threw the ball at his head. Samuel went to go at him. And I was like, all right, so that happened, right? And then when I saw that and I saw him get a bin, I was like, how does this make sense? Because Benny should have went then. To take Benny and Samuel off.
Yeah, I know. It's just stupid.
It's just silly, man. It's just silly. It's just like, it's setting precedents now. Like, if you're going to do that, here we go. I found it. See if you can see that. All right, he gets up, throws the ball at Samuel's head. How is that any different?
Oh my goodness!
It caused a worse skirmish than what happened with Chanel in that. Like as soon as like Chanel threw the ball at Thingo's head, Chatty got up and walked away. There was nothing on. Samuel got up and wanted to punch freaking Ben Hunt's head off. So I don't know, bro. Like it just it's a weird precedent. I don't understand it, but yeah, it's just a game these days, unfortunately. And yeah, there's so many you can talk about. Like, yeah, I don't know.
And I was talking about sin bins. I did the little review on Tuesday, and I was saying we haven't had a sin bin this year, and I was like, oh man, that has to be the lamest sin bin. Yeah.
At least it wasn't Murata slapping anyone and unfortunately going off it had been like Dave Fafita.
Far out, man.
Those are the days. But may as well go to the last player that we have here on the bench, because I actually thought he had a really decent performance for the small minutes that he actually played. We'll talk about Freddie Lussick. He had to come on. I think, Wado got banged around a couple of moments there. He was holding an ankle at a moment there too. He ended up coming off. Freddie came on. He had like a moment with a line break there from memory. He broke a couple of tackles from the middle. He had a support play moment there too. Like got through his work, only missed one tackle. What were your thoughts on Freddie? Like 24 minutes, wasn't a big sample size, but I thought Freddie did his job. He went out there and he showed a couple of little things in his game that he is learning still. Like, but I thought he did really well. And he give credit where he's due.
It's good, that little break that he made. He little break out of dummy half. The one with the line break where I think CNK, I said to him, get on the outside, but didn't have the legs, but no, he was good, man. He was real good. Again, just a guy that's, I think, you can definitely, he's finding himself on as 18th man or on the bench, and he's been doing quality performances. We know what we get from him, and he's been consistent at doing that. So no, I was pleased with that one. Interesting, I think Egan's, because remember, was it the Roosters game where Lussick started and then it was Egan that came on? So I think I wonder if they toy with that a little bit moving forward. Or I'm pretty confident start with Egan and then bring Lussick on if you need to. But it's interesting they haven't really finalized or settled on what that will be this year. I mean, they tried it with the Sharks game at the start of the season. I was thinking that they'll have to, use an interchange for Egan this year, but technically didn't really need him. But I suppose he could probably hold a spot, but it will be dependent on whether CHT moves to that utility or if they go ahead with CHT as a 6. So interesting times ahead. And I think, but either way, he's been playing well. He's playing well.
I think the biggest thing with Freddie too is like, he got himself to this position by working hard. Like he, in the off season, there was a lot of rumors out there that he beat all our fitness tests and all that sort of stuff, like killed it, brained it in our like preseason, looked incredible. Like he works hard. He tries his heart out. Like he just needs time. He's developing. Like, even if it comes down to like for me, preferably, if we get our full strength side, maybe Chanel does become that 14, probably because he can do something in the middle defensively. He's all right there. And then, like, you know, off the ground, he's not too bad from what I've seen already. That was the one thing I was worried about with Chanel. He's a bigger body, having to get low and get the ball off the deck. That sort of thing as quick as what Freddie can. Like, I know a lot of people say Freddie is pretty slow in that area, which he's not as quick as Wado there, but, or even Paulie Roach, who we've seen there too. But Freddie works hard. He's defensively sound. Like, he's always tries his heart out in the games. And if it does come to that, I'd just love to see him go back to Cup again and just continue to work hard, because like a lot of people definitely had thoughts about Wade Egan too when he first came to the club, and he's changed everything around on us. I don't see Freddie being the attacking piece of what Wade Egan can be, but I could also see him being a player that we can plug in there and trust him for longer periods. And I think Warriors fans will end up getting around him a little bit more early in the future when he grows a bit more in his game, because he's still young and developing, but he did really well tonight. And I just felt like, you know, you have to give, you know, credit where credit's due. You know, when he does well, give him credit there too. So I thought he was really good for a 24-minute stint there. He filled in. He had a couple of nice moments in the game. Like, he broke a couple of tackles, looked really solid there too. So shout out to Freddie. And yeah, who knows? He might have a 14 spot in the future. But for me, yeah, Chanel's probably going to be the more of that look when we get into our full strength squads, in my opinion as well. I kind of agree with you there. All right. So while that pretty much all done and dusted with the squad there, my bro, let's look forward to the Melbourne Storm game quickly before we, you know, go off live. What's your thoughts overall? We go back home in Auckland. We get to try to redo a wrong to start the season. We had a game that was snatched from us in the last moments of the game. There's probably going to be no Munster for this. He's probably out for a longer period, obviously due to Origin, like everything going on with the groin injury. I think he's out for a majority of the season, if not the season. So what's your thoughts on the Melbourne Storm? Do we have an opportunity now to really undo that wrong, being another team that is on top of the ladder, and be a side now that can beat these big sides that we've kind of proven against the Panthers and the Dolphins, even though, you know, Panthers were slightly under strength? Like, where's your thoughts at with the Melbourne Storm, and how big of a game is this for us?
This is a massive game, because I've seen Warriors teams go into a game as underdogs and win those games against top teams. Like, I've seen them do it to Penrith, right?
Yeah.
And although that was unexpected, it doesn't surprise me. But these games, when you're coming off a good run and you're coming home against a top 4 team, we just haven't lived up to it. For whatever reason, we just struggle at home against good sides when the hype and good things are around us. So for me, this game is really important. Even without a Munster, or we could say Sean's out. You know, there's multiple ways of looking at it, but there's still a good side of the Storm. You can't take that away from them. So
100%.
To be able to go home with a sold-out crowd, no doubt, and be able to perform and get a job done, for me, will speak a lot more volumes of where the team is at.
Yeah.
As opposed to that Penrith. Although that Penrith and the Dolphins wins were great, this is a bogey team. This is a team we just cannot get over. We think we have them in the bag. Coach scores in the corner.
Yeah.
We just cannot get past these guys. So for me, this is like one of those big games where it's like, we got to get this one. This will set everything up mentally moving forward. And I think we can do it. It's just a matter of, like, we got to be able to do it with the crowd behind us and at our own home where we're up, expectations are high. We got to temper that and be able to perform. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts anyway, bro. I just think this is a massive game. What do you think, same as well?
It's huge, bro. It's huge. Like, it's a learning experience. I don't think it's like huge as in it's like we lose this game, we like go to shambles, we get out of the 8, that sort of thing, right? But it's huge for confidence builder, and it's huge to show people how far we've grown as a team. So, like, you know, losing to them earlier this season, we had opportunity to win that game. We were a lot of people would have thought we won that game with 5 to go, you know, 3 to go, whatever it was, and then end up happening whatever happened there. This is an opportunity to bring it back home and say, nah, like, we are better. Like, we can be better. We're going to get better. We'll beat you now. Like, we'll do it at home and all that in front of our own crowd. Like, I'm really excited for this one, and could really start us off on getting more confidence under our belt. Like, we beat the Melbourne Storm. We run against the Titans. So then the Titans is another team that we lost to this year. Now that's our opportunity to get over top of them too. So we got to have this sort of mentality now of like, nah, like, screw that. Like, I want to beat you. We're going to beat you. and we should have these games circled in a calendar. So it's a good run coming up. Melbourne, Titans, Broncos, and then the Doggies who've been playing well before we got a bye. So that's a decent run there. We got an opportunity to win majority of those games. I do believe that if we're playing good football. With the injuries coming back in, Roger should be back in round 16. So that is the Titans game. So we may not see him against the Melbourne Storm. So we'll have to wait and see on that. Shawnee should be back in hopefully next week. But if he's not well, rest him another week as we both agreed on. You know, we won't see Ali Leotoa till round 18. He probably won't maybe make the first grade squad the way we're going at the moment anyway. Paulie Roach is out with injury as well. And, you know, Luke Metcalf's not till later on in the season as well. So we don't get anyone really fresh back till that period there. I feel like we're still missing like a middle forward. I don't know what it is there. Like Bunty obviously been dropped to New South Wales Cup and that made me, I'm thinking that way. I don't know if I'm missing someone, but
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
We're close to being full strength again. That's the best thing about it. And we've got a good period here where we can show the competition that, nah, we are threats again. Like, this is what it is. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of chat after this game, but we can definitely nail it down with a big performance against Melbourne, the Broncos, those sort of likes of sides. So I'm really, really excited to see that. I'm really, really excited to see that. But if you want to... Yeah, go on, bro.
No, just agree. Totally agree, bro. We got to seize the moment here. Hopefully no one's come out with an injury. I think everyone looked pretty good.
Yeah, Tomato was just holding that shoulder, so hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, hopefully that's okay. If not, Sean comes in apparently. But if not, just got to seize the moment and just got to, you know, for me it'll be a close game. I can't see it being a massive separator at this point in time. Although we're in form. We're playing really well. We have to back that up. So that's all I'll say at the moment until we see obviously team lists and get a good review on it. I think the Storm are playing tomorrow, eh?
Yep.
So it'd be good to watch. It'd be a good time to watch and just see how they're tracking.
100%, man. But if you want all our thoughts on the Melbourne Storm game, guys, please make sure you come and check out our All-You-Can-Eat Warriors. And even you and Joshy Gage are doing a show tomorrow, Monday
night,
Yep. So get onto the meme feed as well, guys, about reviewing this game here. So really excited. A whole lot of content coming out in the future, obviously with Wise Up TV. And then I'll be back to my Wednesday show again on Wednesday, guys. So tune in on that. I might have a special little friend jumping in too, guys. So I've got a couple little surprises up my sleeve there for you. So we'll see how we go. But Levon, anything else? Anything else you really want to touch on with this game before we go?
Nah, man. Just great game to watch. If you guys get a chance to watch the watch along. We had fun, man. Thank you for everyone that came into that. It was, you know, some funny moments, some good, just amazing try scoring moments. But man, just, you know, we love this club, we love this team, and just great to watch them and share those moments with you guys. So everyone in the chat, big up, appreciate you guys. And yeah, massive week of content coming up. Me and Joshy Gage on Monday, All-You-Can-Eat on Tuesday. Ash gonna have a big shift on Wednesday, and then another watch along as well for next Saturday. So come along and watch, guys. We appreciate you all. But thanks again, Ash, man. All your hard work too, brother. All the little details, you guys, you see in the corner there. You got the full credit to the boys' banners, and that's my man Ash, the master of graphics. If you never need a stream of learning how to do graphics, maybe you need to do a graphics, little details, bro. Absolutely amazing. Don't credit me. I don't do any of this stuff. So it's all him, man.
I try my hardest, man. I try my hardest, but no, I appreciate all you guys, man. Like, you know, you make sure you tune into a massive week, and these watch alongs, if you do enjoy them, please make sure you comment them on the comment section and all that sort of stuff. So you let us know, like and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to show us that you love the channel and all that. And we appreciate every single one of you guys. Like, massive super chats to all the boys there in the super chat, and also just all you guys that just tune in every show. You guys are incredible. But yeah, let's go, guys. Another massive win in the books, 42-12.
Give it a CNK. Mother way.
Let's go. Up the wires, baby. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Take it easy, guys. See ya.